Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of the Fumble Sports Daily Show. It is so wonderful to have you as we kick off another week of sports talk. It is Monday, July 24th, and we have so much to get to. We have baseball, we have a fantasy football mock draft, obviously answering your questions, helping you out with your research as you build your fantasy teams, your DFS lineups, or you make your sports bets for the day. So excited to have you with us. If you want to reach out, make sure you write in that comment section. Make sure you hit us up across our platforms, TikTok,
If you want to
YouTube,
reach out,
Twitch, and Kick, because Fumble Sports is here like we are every day at 12 p.m., giving you great sports talk and good information. Now, as we kick off today's show, as always, we give out our disclaimer. Fumble Sports isn't a sports book. We're not endorsed by any sports book. We are a sports content company created by a sports fan for real sports fans out there. So if you love talking sports, you've come to the right place. Make sure that you follow us and subscribe. So hit us up on our channels, Fumble Sports on YouTube, TikTok, and on Instagram. You can also find us at Sports Fumble on Twitter. I hope all of you guys subscribe, like the videos. I really appreciate you guys hitting the like button on those videos. Goes a long way in supporting the channel and supporting what we're building here. And of course, if you ever want to contact us, you can DM us on Instagram. You can tweet us at Sports Fumble on Twitter. Or, of course, you can hit us up on our website, buttfumblesports.com. That way you can hit us up all the time. We love engaging with you guys off the air. A bunch of you guys actually hit me up yesterday off the air. Loved hitting and talking with you guys. That said, let's quickly jot on down to our results from yesterday. Our celebrity shot contest for the month of July is over, everybody. Jorge Valena won that one, so congratulations to Jorge. He claimed that win yesterday. I'm sending out his free t-shirt later this week, but we are still keeping track of all of your celebrity shots every single day. So Elliot putting that Giants money line pick up there. We'll get it up on the board in 1 second. For all those that are new to the show, you get 2 picks every day, your 2 favorite picks. We keep track of them, we keep the records, and we will be starting a new contest in the month of August, a no chalk. It has to be better than minus 200 odds for all of your bets. We'll start that contest August 1st. So, with that said, let's see how we did on our results yesterday. Could have been a little bit better. 39 and 32 overall. The MLB game picks didn't really go the way we wanted, going 11 and 12. MLB player prop bets did okay. WNBA did okay. Overall, though, not the kind of day we want. So, put in some extra research last night and this morning. Hopefully, it means we're cashing a lot of tickets today. Elliot, great to see you. MVP Metcalf, great to see you. Dante, good morning and happy Monday to you. Zodwick, great to see you as well. For all of those that are joining the show, we will clear out our results from yesterday because it's a brand new day, a new opportunity to cash some tickets, make some money, and hopefully put together a lot of good DFS lineups and sports bets, everything else. So we throw our results in the graveyard, put that in the rear view mirror, clear out our stealing and sharing picks, clear out our long ball, long shots of the day, clear out our WNBA. No WNBA today, by the way. I'm surprised to say it, but no WNBA today. So just be mindful of that if you were thinking about some WNBA action. Let's check out what games are going on across Major League Baseball. First things first, we do have one afternoon game. That is the Giants at the Tigers. It's a 1:10 start. Additionally, then we get into the night action. Orioles at Phillies. We then also have the Rockies playing the Nationals at 7:05. Royals at Guardians at 7:10. And then the Mariners go to Minnesota for a 7:40 game. 8:10 start for the Reds and Brewers. Rangers and Astros in a pivotal AL West matchup. Starts at 8:10. Cardinals are out in Arizona for a 9:40 start. Another 9:40 start is the Pirates at the Padres. And finally, last game of the night starting at 10:10, Toronto Blue Jays made their way from north of the border all the way to Los Angeles. They play the Dodgers at 10:10. Should be a lot of good action. I know there are only 6 games on the schedule, but plenty of picks to go to, plenty of action to talk about, so do not hesitate. Write in the comment section your favorite picks. Write in your questions. We're here to help you guys out. If you love talking sports, betting on sports, playing fantasy sports, you have come to the right place. Let's get into it, everybody. I do have picks to give out. Make sure you hit that live goal confetti. We give out picks every time you do. When we get up to 2,000 likes, we give out a long ball, long shot of the day. So tap that screen as many times as you can on TikTok Live. And of course, when you share the channel, we give out a stolen base pick of the day. Let's get things started. I do have a couple of picks to give out around that 1 o'clock game, that 1:10 game. So we'll just dive right into it, and I'll give those out free of charge. First things first, I like the Giants to cover. Giants plus 1.5. It is a leg of a parlay because it's coming in at minus 200. Too bad. When I originally saw this and bet it myself, it was minus 185. So I do like the idea of taking them, but Giants are starting to get a bit more juice on them. To Tito Full Send's question, the Giants plus 1.5 is one that I like, even though those odds are starting to slip away from me just a little bit, which is unfortunate. Additionally, I will also take the over in this game. Right now, the over-under set at 8.5. I don't want that. How about over 7.5? Bingo, over 7.5 is what I'm going to take. So Giants, Tigers, over 7.5, and we are cooking, everybody. We are starting our action, getting all these picks up on the board. So happy to see all of those regulars in the comments section. Let's get some of your celebrity shot picks up on the board as well. Elliot Robinson, you came in first. Thank you for those roses. Just wrote in roses, Elliot Robinson. And he is going to go with the Giants on the money line. Giants on the money line, not a bad play. Not what I'm going to go with. I like them to cover, but not a bad play. Additionally, let's get Tito's Full Send is taking the Giants plus 1. There you go. Tito's Full Send is taking the Giants plus 1.5. You are on the board, Tito's Full Send. Tito's Full Send is someone who hit me up on Instagram yesterday. Tito's Full Send can attest. But Fumble Sports is available. If you guys hit us up on Instagram, we will reply. We will see it. So there you go. Arctic Tiger, who's been very good at picking some home run picks of late. Let's see what Arctic Tiger has in store for us today. Arctic Tiger is taking Spencer Torkelson over, and you are taking, in that regard, you're taking over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Additionally, you are also taking Matt McClain over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. So, Arctic Tiger, you are on the board as well. If you're watching on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, or Kick, doesn't matter the platform, write in the comments section my celebrity shot or my celebrity pick, and we will put it up on the board. We keep track of them every day so you guys can play along at home no matter where you're watching the show. Domestic United States, overseas, it doesn't matter. Everybody gets an opportunity to be a part of the Butt Fumble Sports Celebrity Shot Contest and the Celebrity Shot Picks every single day. Riley Green over half a hit's the other one for Tito's Full Send. Let's get it up there. Riley Green over half a hit. Boom, there you go. So, a lot of picks that we have to give out over the course of the show today. I have a ton of picks. When I say a ton of picks, I've already given out 2 MLB game picks, but I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21 picks to give out. I know there are only 10 MLB games, but believe it or not, I have a lot of bets on a number of these games. So, plenty of picks to give out. Don't be stingy. Hit that live goal confetti. Every time you drop a gift, we give a pick. So make sure you guys are hitting that. Of course, make sure you subscribe as well. Subscribe to Butt Fumble Sports. We're going to be doing a fantasy football league for subscribers, as well as a survivor pool, an NFL survivor pool for subscribers. So hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, hit all the buttons on the screen that you're supposed to hit. This is me doing my call to action bit. So make sure you guys are engaged with us. We love having this great community and audience of sports fans join us every single day. Dante has his celebrity shot picks to get up on the board. Dante, hope you're having a great day. Let us know if you have any additional questions outside of your picks, Dante. Dante is going to go with Luis Castillo over 6.5 strikeouts. And additionally, he's going to take Max Kepler over half a strikeout. So a couple of plays on the board from Dante, already getting a bunch of your celebrity shot picks up on our screen. So let's take a look at, I actually want to go kind of reverse today. We already gave out some of the games, picks I like for that early game. We are going to go actually kind of backwards today. I'm going to do my reverse engineering right now. We're going to do reverse engineering on walks allowed early in the show. Additionally, I should let you guys know, at 1 p.m. Eastern today, at 1 p.m. Eastern, we are going to have a new contributor to the show, a new contributor to Butt Fumble Sports join us. It is a SEC expert, an SEC football expert analyst is going to join us at 1 p.m. Eastern. So if you love SEC football, you want to hear about what changes are happening at Georgia, Alabama, and across the SEC, make sure you're with us at 1 p.m. Eastern as our new SEC analyst will be joining us, answering your questions, giving a lot of good commentary on what's going on in the Southeastern Conference. So make sure you join us at 1 p.m. Additionally, if you guys want to get in our daily mock draft, we're doing a mock draft almost every single day. Make sure you go and hit us up on Instagram, or if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, there is a link that is pinned on our live stream. Hit us up, hit that link, takes you right to Sleeper, so you can sign up and claim your team right now. If you guys want to get in on this fantasy football mock draft, make sure you either DM us on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram, or if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, there is a pinned link. Hit that link, claim your team. We will do our mock draft at 1:30. So our SEC analyst is joining us at 1. Our mock draft is at 1:30, and that is why we are going to do our reverse engineering early for today. If you're new to the show and you're like, reverse engineering, what the hell is Butt Fumble Sports talking about? Every day we try to find pitchers who are going to give up some walks. We go use this great sports data tool called Outlier. We use it every single day. Outlier, great sports analysis, great sports trends, great sports data tool. That said, let's go look. We go to walks allowed. We pump up the over and the implied probability, and we are looking for people who have a high probability of walks allowed, as well as a good track record over their last few starts. Let's start with Ryan Yarbrough. This is a good play right away. Very chalky at minus 245. What do I mean when I say chalky? It means it's not a strong play on its own. Minus 200 or worse. This is at minus 248. I use the term chalky almost like I'm talking about a team, a number one seed in the NCAA tournament. We talk about it being chalk if the number one seeds end up in the Final Four. I kind of use that term when I'm talking about sports betting here. When it's minus 248, that's a favorite play. That's a favorite who's not getting great odds. I am going to take it, though. So let's put this up on the big board. That's Ryan Yarbrough over half a walk allowed. It's just one. It's just one. And that is why it might be so chalky. If this were set at 1.5, maybe it would be a better odds play, but not. Graham Ashcraft. Again, unfortunately, this is chalky at minus 205, but very, very consistent. How about on the road? How's it been? Has cashed in his last 2 games. Very consistent, actually, on the road as well. So we'll throw Graham Ashcraft over 1.5 walks allowed up here as well. It is the leg of a parlay, so we tack on that symbol so you guys can see which plays we like as standalones, like this Giants-Tigers over 7.5, and the others are parlay plays. So just be mindful of what's a parlay play versus what's a good standalone play. Let's keep doing our reverse engineering, everybody. Next one is going to be Yu Darvish. Very consistent, 5 out of the last 6. How about at home? Maybe not as consistent, but we still like this play. So I will take Yu Darvish over 1.5 walks allowed. Let's keep it going. Continuing to do our reverse engineering. Dean Kremer. Very consistent over the last 6. How about on the road? Decent. Very consistent if I extend that sample size to a larger away game starts. Dean Kremer, you're getting on here due. Boom, another play up on the board. Can we find others? Luis Castillo, 1.5, not a great trend. Hasn't been a good trend on the road. Not going to take it even though the implied probability is at 57%. Patrick Corbin. This had been a good trend, but it's missed in 3 of the last 4 games, something to be mindful of. Had been really good, has missed the last few games. How about at home? Not a good enough trend. As you can just see, the data doesn't back this one up. Not going to take it. Let's go to the next one, John Gray. Only 51% implied probability on this, but it's been a very good trend. How about on the road? Has been a good trend. Has been a good trend. So John Gray I'm going to take as well. That'll probably be the last one. John Gray over 1.5 walks allowed. So there you go. Just making sure there aren't any others. No, don't see any that really stand out. Logan Allen would be probably the only other one. This has been a very good trend as well. How about at home? I'm going to take this one. This will be the last one. So Logan Allen over 1.5 walks allowed, and those are all of our reverse engineering plays of the day, everybody. So if you like betting on pitchers to throw some walks, we have it up on the board for you. Okay, I was just told our SEC expert will not be joining us. He had an emergency, will not be able to join us. So, just means more sports betting for us. We will do our mock draft at 1:30, everybody. We will do our mock draft at 1:30. So if you want to join that mock draft, just hit us up, let us know. You can DM us on Instagram, But Fumble Sports on Instagram, or if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, you can hit that link in our bio. Takes you right to Sleeper. You can claim your team and get in on that mock draft that we will be doing at 1:30. 1:30 is when we will do the mock draft, everybody. We've now done some reverse engineering. I'm sure it's a sleepy Monday for a lot of you guys out there. It was a great weekend of sports betting, sports action, a lot of heat around the country, so hopefully you guys spent some time outside. There is one topic that just continues to be coming up, and I've ranted about this before, but a lot of people continue to ask me. I was at the gym yesterday, and a buddy of mine who comes in and takes care of the gym asked me, what did I think about these running backs asking for more money? And I said to him what I said to you guys yesterday. I am startled by the fact that so many people are taking the sides of running backs in this argument, because I don't think this is actually one in which the owners are being stingy. I think it's one in which the marketplace is telling us what running backs are really worth. A lot of people are trying to tell me, but look at Derrick Henry's production. Can you believe that a middle linebacker, an offensive lineman, a defensive back is making more money than Derrick Henry? My answer is yes. It is harder to find offensive linemen. It's harder to find linebackers. That position is more valued right now. So a lot of people right now are trying to convince me that running backs are underpaid. Running backs are undervalued. Running backs are being mistreated. That is nonsense. I could not disagree anymore. I think running backs have had it really good for a number of decades, and finally the economics of the NFL has caught up. What does this ultimately mean? I think NFL running backs are going to have to reevaluate whether they really want to play this position. I'm not talking about the current class of running backs. I'm talking about the 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old young football players who are determining which position do I want to play. And right now, yes, running back is a less attractive position. There isn't as much money there. But I also think that if you're Derrick Henry, if you're Nick Chubb, if you're Saquon Barkley, and you're complaining about making $10 to $15 million a year, my attitude is great. Go sign up and pick up garbage. Go become an insurance salesman. Go do anything else. I have a real problem with anybody making millions of dollars telling me that they're not being paid enough. Fine, then go make minimum wage somewhere else. Go buy a McDonald's and go serve some burgers. Go buy a car dealership and sell some Fords. Because I actually have no sympathy on this front. A number of us have been fired or laid off or let go from a job. And by the way, we didn't have millions of dollars to fall back on. We had to come up with new careers, new plans. We had to obviously scramble in our own professional lives. I don't know why NFL running backs think they're entitled to anything. I don't understand this idea of pro athletes feeling they're entitled to money. They're not. That's not how sports work. You are not entitled to your money. So NFL running backs, there is nothing you can do. And I wanted to call this topic out again because I actually thought that Ryan Clark of ESPN, obviously a former football player, he was a member of the NFLPA leadership for a while. I thought he was brilliant on Get Up this morning, or it was First Take, forgive me. I saw him on First Take, and he was going up against Stephen A. Smith, and Stephen A. Smith's on the side of running backs, thinking they should get paid, they're being mistreated. And I was so happy that finally a former football player stood up and said, actually, the running backs are in the wrong. I hadn't seen anyone do that yet. I felt like I was alone on an island saying these guys shouldn't be paid more or they are complaining unnecessarily. But I was so happy to hear Ryan Clark say, hey, as an NFL union, players union, we negotiated the CBA. And when we negotiated the CBA, these were the rules that we had to live by. Some of it isn't as fair to other positions as it is to others, but tough cooks. And I actually thought that was a brilliant comment by Ryan Clark because, one, I needed to hear an NFL player say it, and two, I needed to hear a member of the NFLPA say it. NFL players have had opportunities to negotiate salaries, practice time, and a lot of other variables across collective bargaining agreements over the last few decades. They did not prioritize this issue. So why should the owners, after the fact, be called out and be called evil when in reality, NFL players didn't take care of themselves? This issue was predictable. Did we think the running backs were going to be paid at the same rate as quarterbacks? Absolutely not. So I actually think the CBA set a standard. I think NFL players should wake up to that standard. And more importantly, I think the NFLPA should remind the players, you agreed to this. Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, you agreed to this CBA. You agreed to the salaries that you were going to get. Now, after the fact, you don't like it. You know what it reminds me of a little bit? It reminds me of Scottie Pippen with the Bulls and what we heard in The Last Dance. He didn't like the contract. He signed a contract because he wanted to get paid. He needed to take care of his family, so he got paid, even though the contract itself would ultimately be worth less than Scottie Pippen's production. What did the owner of the Bulls say? Once you sign this contract, even if it's unfair, don't come back and ask for more. I actually think that's an absolutely perfect explanation and standard set by an owner. Once we agreed to a deal, that's it. You signed your John Hancock on the contract, live by it, stand by it. You put your name to it. NFL players, you put your name to it. I understand if some people don't like the franchise tag model, especially with how it really owns and controls running backs for 2 years on discounted prices. That's fine. Then in the next CBA, address that issue. But NFL players want it all. They want high salaries. They want benefits. They want retirement benefits. They want concussion protocol. They want time off from practice. They want fewer padded practices. And now they want positions to be paid increasing amounts on an annual basis. NFL football players, you can't have all 100 yards. Frankly, I'd be lucky if I were you to get 50 yards of that 100-yard field. I think NFL players are incredibly naive about the economics of their sport. They see the billions of dollars that the NFL generates, and they assume that they should be getting 50% of that, or that they should get everything they want because they're driving the money of the sport. They're really not. The NFL will be just fine if Derrick Henry retires, if Christian McCaffrey leaves. If Saquon Barkley doesn't play one down of football again, the NFL will be absolutely fine. So I actually put this on the players. The players were the ones negotiating the CBA. The players were the ones that prioritized fewer padded practices, fewer practices overall. The players were the one that prioritized the wrong things. They didn't prioritize money the right way. They didn't prioritize benefits the right way. They didn't prioritize salary per position the right way. That's on the players. That's not on the owners. I'm not going to say the owners did wrong. The owners were smart businessmen, and they also negotiated plenty that was against their interests in favor of the players. So on this issue, I know we've talked about it a lot. You've heard me rant about it a lot, but actually, I couldn't be on the side of the owners more. I don't like to say it that way because it sounds like I'm anti-player. I'm not anti-player, but am I anti-player opinion on this issue? Abso-frickin-lutely. NFL running backs, I don't know where you get the sense of entitlement that you are worth $15, $18 million a year. You are simply not. It's not the economics of the sport. It's not the operational. It's not how we draft players. It's not the development of players. If you don't like the system, don't negotiate a CBA that creates this kind of outcome. 100% on the players. Anyways, wanted to rant about that because a bunch of you guys were asking me about it. Tony, I appreciate your take on this. Tony, fans are fans of teams in the NFL, not players. There's a great line. There's a great stand-up line from Jerry Seinfeld when he's talking about, this is in regards to baseball, and he jokes that that you're not really a fan of a player, you're not even really a fan of a team, you're a fan of laundry. If you're a fan of the New York Yankees, you don't care if Aaron Judge is in that uniform or Juan Soto or Fernando Tatis Jr. or Shohei Ohtani. You root for the pinstripes with the NY over the heart. That's what you're rooting for. And in the NFL, do I like Saquon Barkley? An enormous amount. I think he's a good person, a good human being, and a phenomenal football player. I don't care about his contract. I got to admit to you, because I'm making minimum wage. I'm making my ends meet just like a lot of you are. So I'm supposed to feel bad for Saquon Barkley? By the way, so often in life, you don't get paid on past performance. You get paid on future expectations. I don't know why NFL running backs, for whatever reason, think it's unfair that that's the way things are. NFL running backs, I heard Nick Chubb make the argument that if I have a 2,000-yard running and a 2,000-yard season this year, I actually could get paid less next year because there's an assumption that there's wear and tear, there's some tread lost on the tires. Yeah, that's how it works. If you work in a white-collar job, a blue-collar job, or in professional sports, you get paid off your future potential, not what you did in the past. I don't care if you're an executive on Wall Street. I don't care if you're an executive at a tech company. You don't get paid on past performance. And if you do, by the way, your company is moronic. You should always get paid on future production. Past performance, that should have already been compensated. Why should I pay you for what you've already done? No, I'm paying you for what you're going to do. Do I think Saquon Barkley is heading into his 3 best years of offensive production? Absolutely not. Do I think Nick Chubb is going to have a 2,000-yard season in the next 3 years? No, I don't. So why should I pay them at that kind of rate when I don't expect that kind of production? First of all, it limits my ability to pay other players on the roster, which builds a more complete roster, which allows us to win, which should ultimately generate more money for not just the team, but the individual players as well, in incentives, in sponsorship, and endorsements, and the like. So I don't understand where NFL running backs are coming from. This feels like wealthy players crying wolf. And I know I'm the bad guy because I'm the one that's saying an NFL running back who has a car crash every other Sunday or every Sunday shouldn't be paid what he wants. Yeah, I guess that makes me the bad guy because right now there are about 7 billion people on the planet who don't get paid what they should, who work their ass off, and they're not in a position like NFL running backs to fall back on millions. So I'm not losing any sleep. I'm not crying any tears. I think NFL running backs need to go take an econ class. By the way, Econ 101, it's not an advanced course. Econ 101 would say, what's the demand? What's the supply? There are more running backs in supply. The demand, it's not that great. I can get so many running backs through the draft or off a cut roster or something else. So why am I paying Saquon Barkley? I know a lot of Giant fans are going to go, well, Saquon Barkley was our offense last year. Look at the stats Daniel Jones had with Barkley on the field and with Barkley off the field. Great. It means the value of a good running back is a certain price. But does that mean Saquon's worth an extra $3-4 million a year? It really doesn't. It really doesn't. I know this is one that I am probably not the popular pundit or not the popular ranter. I know a lot of fans are so in support of their favorite player, but in reality, your favorite player asking for more money a year keeps your team from winning a championship. I will always look to Tom Brady and how he handled his contract. Oh, and by the way, did the Patriots in their dynasty, in their 20-year run with Tom Brady, did they ever pay a running back significant money? No, they didn't, and they won. That actually is the last kind of argument I want to make on this topic, which is show me one team that has paid a running back massive amounts of money and won a Super Bowl. Not made it to a Super Bowl, not made it to a conference championship, not made it to the playoffs, won a Super Bowl. I'll wait. I'll hang back. What is it? Marshall Faulk with the St. Louis Rams with the greatest show on turf. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. People, running backs who get paid, keep teams from winning. I know it sounds crazy, but if you pay a running back a high amount of money, it means your offensive line is weaker. It means your defense is weaker. It means you can't make that pickup of a really talented player. It's what costs you. So running backs in the NFL, sorry about it, but you are getting paid what you actually should be. Asking for more, I think it's incorrect. I wouldn't give them another dime. Whew! You know I love ranting here at Fumble Sports. Hope you enjoyed it. Zodwick, players should be paid on incentive-based contracts. I don't agree with that. I don't think all players should just be purely incentive-based contracts. I do think there should be some kind of fixed pay. But here's the point. If you had fixed pay at what I think is reasonable, and then you set incentives that allow Saquon Barkley or Nick Chubb to reach the amount that they want, that I'm in favor of. If you want to pay them a base salary, and you want to say, okay, Saquon, you're going to make $10 to $12 million a year in fixed salary, guaranteed money. However, if you want to get up to $16 million, it's incentive based. I think that's fair. But to say as a fixed base salary, you should be making 16, 17, 18 million dollars a year, that is absolutely ludicrous. It's ludicrous. And I'll give you another one. I'm hearing that Chris Jones of the Kansas City Chiefs, the defensive lineman, wants to get paid $30 million a year. Chris Jones, get the fuck out of here, man. Get the hell out of here. There is no way Chris Jones is worth $30 million a year. No way. There's no way he's worth that amount of money. That is stupid. That is ridiculous. And if the Kansas City Chiefs give him that amount of money, they will not win another Super Bowl in the time that they have him. I don't care if they have Patrick Mahomes. I don't care if they have Chris Jones. If you pay a defensive tackle $30 million a year, you should be horsewhipped, because that is a stupid amount of money to spend on someone. I don't care how talented they are. Aaron Donald on down, $30 million a year for a defensive tackle. You must be outside your mind. That is crazy. And so, Chris Jones, I hope you sit out, I hope you wait, and I hope you don't make that amount of money, because it will destroy the economics of your position, of the Chiefs, and it'll negatively impact the economics of the NFL. Just watch. Mark my words. IP Shade 45, great to see you. Jorge, yo. Jorge, I'm going to put in that order for your shirt today. That should be coming in about 10 days. So congratulations again, Jorge. Tony Vu writes in, right, raise minimum salary to $575K, then sky limit based on incentives. See, I don't agree with that. I think you should have base salaries that are matching what a player is worth, and then have incentives to try to allow them to earn the amount of money that they want to make. I would pay Saquon Barkley right near $12 million a year. That's what I would pay him for the production that he's going to deliver over the next 3-4 seasons. If he wants to get to $16 million a year, just make it incentives. And if a running back, if a football player isn't willing to play on an incentive-based contract, or where that extra money can be made through incentives, then really, where's the heart? Where's the desire? I know these guys put in a lot of time, but if you don't think you're going to be a 1,000-yard back, then why am I paying you $16 million a year anyways? It's an interesting topic, but it's very much a labor versus management kind of topic. By the way, I do think Aaron Donald get paid that amount of money, and I think it's ludicrous. I think it's stupid. I do not think Aaron Donald's worth $31 million a year. I just don't. I know he's the most talented defensive lineman maybe ever. He may be one of the best defensive players in the history of the NFL. He's not worth $31 million a year. There's no way. He couldn't possibly deliver as much production at $31 million a year. It doesn't equate. I don't know in what financial model, in what Excel spreadsheet, that $31 million can be justified. Again, maybe it's off of apparel and merchandise and a lot of other, he drives ticket sales, fine. If you want to do the math on that and you work for a franchise, okay. But do I think Aaron Donald's worth $31 million a year? Hell no. Hell no. What is he, the CEO of Apple? Get the hell out of here. No way. By the way, for 17 regular season games, you're going to pay him $31 million for 17 regular season games? That is stupid. That's crazy. It's crazy. By the way, the Lions blew it by not taking Gonzalez in the draft, sadly. Okay, Gardner Johnson, I'm hearing he was carted off. Some news for you football fans. Gardner Johnson was carted off with a non-contact injury to his knee. Early reporting out of Detroit is that he is okay, that it is not as bad as first thought, so maybe Gardner Johnson will get out of this without missing significant time. But IP Shade 45, I completely agree with you. I thought Christian Gonzalez was a stud who just sat on the draft board, and a number of teams passed on him. The Patriots drafting him was a steal. I think the Lions missed out by not getting him. Jorge, let's get your celebrity shot pick on the board. Jorge is going to go with Mookie Betts over half a home run. You are on the board, Jorge. By the way, Tony, who's watching, Tony Vu, thank you so much for the support. Tony Vu says, you're NASCAR expert, one spot off on Reddick, but hit on Hamlin, kicking self for not betting both. Guys, I tried to tell you last week, I'll tell you again this week. Our NASCAR expert and analyst is freaking incredible. I have never in my life seen anybody call NASCAR like this. I worked at Fox Sports. I worked at Fox Sports for 3.5, 4 years, and I worked with people who were NASCAR experts, insiders, worked on NASCAR Race Hub. I have never, ever met anybody who calls NASCAR betting like our NASCAR expert does. He is killing it. I mean it. What is it? It's something like in 6 of the last 8 races, he's called the winner correctly. I believe in 8 consecutive races, he's called the head-to-head matchup that he's picked correctly. The dude is on fire. If you don't bet NASCAR, I totally understand. I used to not bet NASCAR, and then I met our NASCAR expert, and he has opened my eyes. The dude knows his shit. He gives out great information every single week, and he is calling winners. So if you guys have never bet NASCAR before, you guys should start, but don't do it without hearing the picks from our NASCAR expert. He will be joining us later this week. We have him on the show, and he gives out his favorite picks of the week. We also post those picks to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Make sure you check him out. I am not someone who grew up with NASCAR. I'm from the Northeast. I could give a shit. But I love cashing tickets. I love making money. And our NASCAR expert is the best. I have never met anybody who calls a race better than he does. So make sure you guys follow him. Check out his picks. Obviously, listen when we have him on the show. We post his interviews onto YouTube once they're done, so you can check them out there if you miss them live. But the point is, if you want to make some plus money bets on NASCAR and cash those tickets, make sure you're following us and make sure you check out our NASCAR expert, because he is, as they say south of the border, en fuego. En fuego. By the way, Tony was asking, are we going to have another celebrity shot contest for the month of August? And the answer is yes, we will. In the month of August, we will be doing a celebrity shot contest that will be a no chalk contest. So it has to be better than minus 200. So minus 199 and better. That is the August celebrity shot contest. So we will start that in about a week. Hope you guys are excited about that. Zodwick writes, what is interesting, I'd love GM for my favorite team who is a DFS champion. Putting the best team together for the right price is the best. I totally agree with you. Lots of fun. Oh, confetti! Confetti! We got confetti. Okay, there's confetti flying all over the place. We've got to get some picks out, everybody. We've got to do some work. We've been ranting and raving, but IP Shade 45 is like, I've had enough of this, Butt Fumble Sports. Give out some picks. All right, let's get to work, everybody. We have a lot of picks to give out over the course of the next, let's say, hour, because we're going to do a mock draft at 1:30. Again, if you guys want to be in that mock draft, DM us on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. Make sure you DM us. I will share the link with you so you guys can be a part of that mock draft we are doing at 1:30. But for now, it is pick time. Let's start. Phillies on the money line. Phillies. First 5 on the money line. Let's keep going. We're going to take the Orioles and Phillies over. I saw it at 8.5. I want to make sure that I can't get in a better alternative line. Like I said, I saw it at 8.5. Over 8.5 is the best play. Over 8.5 is the one we can do. So 8.5 for that. Let's keep going. Next one is going to be Rockies, Nationals. Yes to a run in the first inning. Rockies, Nationals, yes to a run in the first inning. Rockies, Nationals, we're taking the over. Want to check out what the over is coming in at. Rockies and Nationals, over 9.5. I want it better than that. Over 8.5, that's the good play. Over 8.5 is what we'll take that one at. Let's give out some more. We will take the Rockies, plus 1.5. Rockies, plus 1.5. I'll give out 3 more picks for you just to say thank you to IP Shade 45 for all of that confetti. So here's the next pick we're going to give out. It's going to be the Guardians on the money line. We will also take the Guardians first 5 on the money line. And finally, the last pick we'll give out for this round is going to be Royals, Guardians, over 7.5. Royals, Guardians, over 7.5. Just want to make sure that's the best spot I can get it. Over 8.5 is what the current line is. Over 7.5 is minus 160. Love that play. So those are a bunch of picks that we just gave out. Every time you guys hook us up with our live goal of confetti, we will give out a bunch of picks. We have a ton of player prop bets to get to, more MLB game picks to get to, so no worries about that. Let's get some more celebrity shot picks up on the board. And the next one is going to be Diego. Diego, welcome to the show and welcome to the Celebrity Shot Big Board. Let's get Diego's pick. He's taking Ellie De La Cruz to go yard again. He homered yesterday, over half a home run. So there, you're on the board, Diego. Interesting play. Not necessarily one that I was going to go with. Kyle Schwarber on a home run. He's not a home run pick I have. We have hit 2,000 likes, which means I'm being a little tardy on my long ball long shots of the day. Let's get a couple of those up. I'll give out 2 right now. I'm going to take Max Muncy to hit a home run. Max Muncy to hit a home run. I will also take Adolis Garcia to hit a home run. Let's check out what those 2 are coming in at. Max Muncy to hit a home run. 23% implied probability, plus 340. I know he homered yesterday. He hit a grand slam, but I actually like that. Max Muncy is kind of a streaky home run hitter. When he hits one, he's usually good for another over the next day or 2. Can't say the same about like an Ellie De La Cruz or some other hitters where I feel like they hit one, they won't hit another one for maybe a week. Max Muncy isn't that kind of hitter. When he gets hot hitting a home run, he usually tends to stay hot. Let's also look, can I get him on over half a hit? Yes, I can, and it's not chalky at minus 145. Let's get that up on the board as well. This is a player prop bet, so I'm going to just make a little section for it right here. So we have our player prop bets down below, but those were all ones we did our research during the show. This is one that I had prior to the show. Max Muncy, over half a hit. Very good play. A very good play at minus 145. Hits, runs, and RBIs. Again, not worth taking, but you could get it at even money at plus 100. Just something to keep track of. Now let's go to Adolis Garcia. Adolis Garcia for a home run. 24% implied probability, plus 310. He hasn't hit a home run in a while, so he is due. I know that's not something we really put our focus on. Let's look at over half a hit. I can get it. It is chalky at minus 225. I will take this one. Adolis Garcia, over half a hit. It is chalk city, so I put that leg of a parlay next to it. Parlay symbol next to it. And then additionally, could I get him on over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs? Yes, I can, and yes, I will. So I'm kind of loaded up on Adolis Garcia today. There you go, everybody. A couple more picks for you. By the way, Diego is talking about J.D. Martinez, and the answer is yes. I love J.D. Martinez today. That's a really good find. I'll put him next to his teammate up here. Let's look at J.D. Martinez. I'm not taking him on a home run. Oh, he's not up here yet. He's not up here yet. He might not be in the lineup, so I can't go with him. But someone mentioned Mookie Betts earlier. Love Mookie Betts today. He absolutely rakes against the starting pitcher that he'll be facing today. He absolutely crushes against the hitter that he'll be facing. So with that said, definitely somebody you guys want to keep in mind for some player prop bets today. So let's get that up there. Mookie Betts, not 1.5 hits. Don't like that. Hits, runs, RBIs is set at 2.5. Brutal. It's going to have to be total bases. I'm going to take the over 1.5 bases. I know it's not a great play in terms of implied probability, but there's really nothing else that I really like. Over 1.5 bases. I will also look. Yesterday, I went with over half a run as well. It cashed. I like that one as well. I'll go Mookie Betts over half a run. And in a way, I'm kind of building out my hits, runs, RBIs with that over 1.5 bases and over half a run. So just a couple of plays to get you guys going. Let's get to some more because there are a couple guys I like. Let's see if there's anyone else you guys put up here. Max Kepler. Max Kepler for over half a strikeout is an interesting play. Let me just show you what the odds are on that. Not going to put it up on my board, but just showing you what the strikeout is. Over minus 210. 68% implied probability, so a good play. What's Colorado, Washington? Yes to a run in the first inning. So this Rockies, Nationals, yes to a run in the first inning. We do think there's going to be a run in the first inning of that game. So where I saw it, the implied probability on a run in the first inning for Rockies and Nationals was 58.6%. Anytime I see an implied probability for a first run inning or a run in the first inning over 55%, I automatically take it. So Diego, Rockies, Nationals, yes to a run in the first inning. I highly endorse it. It actually is probably my favorite first run inning play of the day. Let's do some work right now. I'm going to just do a rip. I know we have about 45 minutes until our fantasy football mock draft. Again, if you guys want to get in on that fantasy football mock draft, make sure you hit us up just like Jorge did. Jorge, welcome to the DMs. Thanks for hitting us up on Instagram. I am about to send Jorge a link right now so he can participate in our fantasy football mock draft at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you guys want to join that, if you want to be a part of our fantasy football mock draft that we will be doing at 1:30 Eastern time today, just DM us on Instagram. But Fumble Sports on Instagram. Jorge, I just sent the link to you so you can go claim your team and hopefully put together another really strong mock draft. Jorge is asking about Jake Fraley on a home run. Let's look at what Jake Fraley on a home run is at least getting you. I bet him yesterday to hit a home run and he didn't, so he'll probably go yard today. 13% implied probability, plus 650. Not crazy about it, actually. It's actually not a lot of reason for me to be too high on him. Over half a hit. It's been a good play, 4 out of the last 5. Let's see his stats against Colin Ria. Oh, he's got good numbers. He's got good numbers. So Jake Fraley does have good numbers. Why is he not on my note sheet is something that stands out to me. He should be in my notes. So this is a very good play. I'm not going to take him on a home run. I understand if you want to go in that direction, but I'm getting this over a half a hit at minus 210. That'll be the play for me. So Jake, this is one that I've got to put the asterisk next to it because I didn't have it. Jake Fraley over half a hit. It is the leg of a parlay, so I would take that. Can I get the 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs? 55%. I'm not going to take it at minus 120, even though it looks like a strong play. But might be one that you guys want to consider. So just look at it. Let us know if you guys are interested in it. Maybe it's one that you want to put some money down on. Someone was asking about Kyle Schwarber to hit a home run. Let's show you Kyle Schwarber home run probability. Kyle Schwarber to hit a home run today. 29% implied probability. That's a really strong implied probability percentage. So it might be a really good play. This could be a good one. This might be a good one, Jorge, to get some money down on it. How is he done against this starting pitcher lifetime? No stats. No stats. Can I get him on just over half a hit? Yes, I can. Minus 210. I'm going to take it. Minus 200. So I will take this one. Not one I had prior to the show. So Kyle Schwarber over half a hit. It is the leg of a parlay. So we have a bunch of picks up here for you. Again, if you guys want some more long ball, long shots of the day, make sure you tap that screen as many times as you can. No WNBA today. Make sure you're tapping that screen as many times as you can. When we get up to 4,000 likes, we will give out a long ball, long shot of the day. Y.A. Tittle. Y.A. Tittle has a long ball, long shot of the day. Y.A. Tittle 24 is taking Nick Castellanos over half a home run. Putting the money behind it. Let's see what Nick Castellanos over half a home run is being offered at. 19% implied probability, plus 420. Can I get him on over half a hit? Yes, I can. Too chalky for me, though. What about 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs? It's a good play, not a good trend. So I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take Nick Castellanos today, but but Y.A. Tittle 24 might be onto something. Tito's full send. You want to rip off your play. Tito's full send wants to take the Giants off the board. And instead, you want Cardinals, yeah, this is a good play. Cardinals, Diamondbacks over 8.5. And why do we like that play? I like it as well. It's Adam Wainwright. I know that this is painful for some Cardinal fans to hear, but Adam Wainwright is a shell of his former self. He should have retired last year. This isn't a hot take. This isn't something that others aren't talking about. Adam Wainwright should have retired last year with Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols. This is a massive mistake in my mind that he came back. I don't know what he was really going for. He doesn't have enough records to kind of go chase. I thought Adam Wainwright came back 1 year too many. He should have retired last year. And just look at how he's performing. He is really struggling. He's not pitching well. I think he might not make it through the year. And that's really upsetting for a lot of Cardinals loyal fans. They love Adam Wainwright. And you know Adam Wainwright, he wants to deliver. But he's another sign of where the Cardinals season was just off the rails from the start. He was never going to be a rotation addition. He was never going to be a solid pitcher this year. I thought it was a massive mistake. IP Shade 45, wait on it. We will get to that IP Shade 45. We will get to Christian Walker in a second, but let's get Jorge, another celebrity shot pickup from Jorge. He is taking Kyle Schwarber over half a hit. Again, no contest going on right now. We're just keeping track of your picks. Let's get Christian Walker up on our board, and yes, I do like Christian Walker on a home run today. That's a great job by IP Shade 45. Doing some research, finding a good play. Christian Walker, not available right now. He's not up on the board yet. We'll have to see if he's in the lineup or not. Not available so far. I put him up here. We'll see if we have to rip him off. Let me also put up here. I'll give out my 3 plays. I'll give out some plays right now around that Arizona Cardinals game. That I shouldn't say the Arizona Cardinals. Here I am talking football when I combine the two. It is the St. Louis Cardinals against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So I will take Cardinals, Diamondbacks, yes to a run in the first inning. Love the play. Love the play. I will also take Diamondbacks, first 5 on the money line. Again, very much fading Adam Wainwright. I will also take the Diamondbacks on the game money line as well. So 3 plays related to that game that I have up on my board right now. Again, if you guys want to get in on this fantasy football mock draft, if you guys want to get back on this fantasy football mock draft, make sure you hit us up. Make sure you hit us up on Instagram. But Fumble Sports on Instagram. DM us. I will send you guys a link. You guys can participate in our fantasy football mock draft that we will be doing at 1:30. D-backs pitcher is questionable. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that, Jorge. Thanks for letting us know. I now want to do a rip through a lot of players that I like to struggle today, okay? So we're going to do a couple of plays, a couple of things where I'm just going to rip through a lot of players all at once. That way I can give out a bunch of plays in a short span of time since we have our mock draft in about a half hour. So I'm now going to go through players that I do not think will have a good day. Again, these are players that I think will go over their strikeout total or will go under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Everybody ready? Let's get to it. Okay, first player we're going to look at, and again, we're looking for over half a strikeout. We're looking for over half a strikeout with this one. Let's go. Joey Gallo, probably set at more than just 1.5. Joey Gallo, not on the board. Let's keep going. Alex. Okay, this isn't a good play at the 1.5 strikeouts. What about under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs? Not a good enough implied probability. I'll keep moving on. Let's go back to strikeouts. Again, we're looking for half a strikeout. Half a strikeout's the important number. Suarez, 1.5. Too bad. Let's keep looking, doing our work. Ty France, over half a strikeout. Look at the implied probability, 65%. Look at the trend, 8 out of the last 10. By the way, 70% this is cashed over the last 20 games. So let's get that up on the board. By the way, at minus 185, ka-ching, 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 minus 185. So Ty France over half a strikeout. Again, these are players we think are going to struggle based off of their history against the starting pitcher that they will be facing today. Let's go to Mike Ford. 1.5 strikeouts. Don't like that. What about under hits, runs, RBIs? The unders are really strong play here. 62% implied probability at minus 160, taking it. That's Mike Ford under 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Let's keep going on players we think are going to struggle today. Players we do not think are going to have a good day. So their unders are the play. Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna, not on the board yet. Can't take him. How about Kyle Tucker? I'm sure you guys were like, Kyle Tucker? He's been on fire. Does not have good numbers against the pitcher he'll be facing today, John Gray. So I'm taking over half a strikeout. That's Kyle Tucker over half a strikeout. Let's keep going, everybody. Next one, Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman over half a strikeout. Same deal. Bad numbers against this starting pitcher. Alex Bregman over half a strikeout. Let's keep it going. Owen Miller. Owen Miller of the Brewers is the next one I'm going to look at. Owen Miller over half a strikeout. Good implied probability, good odds. Owen Miller over half a strikeout. We're not done yet on these players we think are going to struggle today. Let's get to the next one. Next one's going to be Ketel Marte. Believe it or not, Marte not up here. Might be something to that. He might not be playing today. We'll have to see. How about Brian Reynolds? 1.5 strikeouts. Not going to take it. How about hits, runs, RBIs? The under's a strong implied probability. Going to take that one. So Brian Reynolds of the Pittsburgh Pirates under 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Let us keep going on it, everybody. Next one we're going to do, looking for a strikeout total. Next one, Carlos Santana. Carlos Santana, minus 280. That's just too chalky for me. It's not worth the bet, so I'm not going to take it, even though it's got a really good implied probability. Next one I'm going to take, though, is Connor. Nope, not up there. So those are all the plays I have. Here are all the players that I think are going to struggle today. Players that I think are going to either strike out or go under hits, runs, RBIs. So there's a bunch of plays for you. Oh, Hammer Vice, Braves don't play today. Oops, my bad. Tito's Full Send likes Brandon Marsh over half a strikeout. Interesting. Luis Matos is another one that people like. Hammer Vice, you just shared the channel. Appreciate that. Let's get a stolen base pickup here. Player we think is going to get a stolen base today. Andres Jimenez of the Cleveland Guardians. Andres Jimenez to get over half a stolen base, 26% implied probability, plus 285. If I like him getting a stolen base, I like him getting on base. Over half a hit, I'm going to take it at minus 205. By the way, I'll put that here. Andres Jimenez over half a hit. It is the leg of a parlay, though, at minus 205. Or minus 200. Excuse me, BetMGM has it at minus 200, even better. We still have a lot of picks to give out, everybody, so no worries about it. Ellie De La Cruz over half a stolen base. I do like that one. We haven't gone to him in the last couple days, but we do like this one. By the way, every time we mention Ellie De La Cruz, of course, I mentioned to you guys the Braxton Brewery in Cincinnati. Some unbelievably good beer, a brewery that's backed by people from Cincinnati who love their Cincinnati sports. If you are going through the Cincinnati area, if you're in the Queen City anytime soon, make sure you go check out Braxton Brewery. Great place to watch the games, great place to have a beer, and if I mention, the beer is incredibly good. So make sure you check out Braxton Brewery the next time you're in Cincinnati. Additionally, let's get Ellie De La Cruz up here so we can see what we can get for the stolen base play. Ellie De La Cruz on a stolen base. We could get that at minus 125. It's a 53% implied probability on here. He hasn't had a lot of stolen bases, only one over the last 9. But the likelihood of a stolen base is really high. Odds aren't great, but I'm going to take it. I will take him on over half a run as well. I could get that at minus 125. So Ellie De La Cruz, over half a run. I wouldn't do much more than that, though. I wouldn't do much more than that. Drew, thank you so much for the Frankfurter, the wide-eyed Wursty. I don't even know what that is, but thank you so much, Drew. Thanks for hooking me up. I was getting a little bit hungry over here. Minus odds on a stolen base. But when the implied probability is at 53% and I did my research, I know it's not an attractive play. Tito's full send. I understand if you want to stay away from it, I'm not going to overly encourage it. He has been striking out too often. I totally agree with you. By the way, he's not the only one. He's not the only one. Shohei Ohtani as well. Let's just quickly look at Elly De La Cruz to strike out today. It's 1.5. That tells you just how frequently he's been striking out. Ashcraft over 2.5 earned runs. Let's quickly look at that. Graham, Ashcraft, and we're looking for over 2.5 earned runs. The implied probability actually suggests the under is the better play today, so I'm not going to touch that one. Funny enough, Ashcraft, I'm not going to take it. Bing bong. There you go, Tito's full send. Here are all the picks we have up on the board so far, a bunch of MLB game picks, but we have about half of my MLB game picks up on the board right now, so I still have a bunch to give out. We got a couple of gifts, so I do want to hook you guys up with some more plays. IP Shade 45 just took this up with some more confetti, so let's get some more picks up on the board, everybody. We will take the Twins plus 1.5. Twins plus 1.5. We will also take the Mariners and Twins over 7.5. Twins, Mariners, or Mariners, Twins over 7.5. Additionally, I will also take Reds, Brewers, yes to a run in the first inning. And the last pick I'm going to give out in this round of picks is the Brewers on the money line. Brewers on the money line. So just dropped 4 picks for you guys to say thank you to IP Shade 45 for hooking us up with that confetti. Don't worry, we still have plenty of picks to give out. Let's get Hammer Vice on the board. Hammer Vice has some celebrity shot picks. Hammer Vice. Let's get your celebrity shot picks up on the board. And he is going with the Pirates on the money line. Interesting. Pirates on the money line. You are also taking the Guardians Royals under. So Guardians Royals under. What's the under you're seeing it at? Just let me know, Hammer Vice. I want to know what your line is. Under on it. By the way, I do like Josh Naylor today. Not on a home run. I'm not going to take Josh Naylor on a home run, but I do like him today. Can I get him on over a half a hit? Yes, I can, but too chalky. Hits, runs, RBIs, that's what I would take. Josh Naylor over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Not what I had prior to the show, but Josh Naylor over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. I do, as I wait for Hammer Vice. Oh, it's 8.5. Perfect. There you go. 8.5 up on the board. Again, I'm going with the under 7.5. You're going the under 8.5. I'm going the over 7.5. You're going the under 8.5. Hopefully we can both cash on that at a snug 8. Hopefully we're right in the middle right there, Hammer Vice. I do want to give out another long ball, long shot of the day. Next one that I'm going to give out is going to be also from this Guardians game. Jose Ramirez rakes against the starting pitcher. Jose Ramirez is a player I like to go yard today. Let's get Jose Ramirez on the board to hit a home run. 19% implied probability, plus 440. How about on over half a hit? No. Hits, runs, RBIs, 2.5. These bastards at the sports books, man, I tell you. Over 1.5 bases, not a great play, actually. Where can we get a good play for him? Over half a run, not a good play. Over half an RBI, not a good play. It's too bad because he has been cold of late, but against Ryan Yarbrough, the dude absolutely rakes. The dude is hitting .375 against him. Just too bad that we couldn't get him there. Someone's asking about Xander Bogaerts to get a single. Let's quickly check out Xander Bogaerts to get over half a hit. Xander Bogaerts over half a hit. 68% implied probability, minus 210. He has a hit in 9 of his last 10 games. He started to turn it on a bit. For the Pirates, we don't have a starting pitcher named right now, so we just have to go off of his average against right-handed pitchers. Hitting .276, but he's been hot of late. I'll take it. Not one that I had prior to the show, but I like the hitting streak for Xander, so I will throw this one up here. Xander Bogaerts, over half a hit. It is the leg of a parlay, so a little chalky here, but we'll take it as a leg of a parlay. Ben Barnes joined the mock draft today. Uh-oh, Jorge. Ben Barnes joined the mock draft. Uh-oh. He wants to screw with Butt Fumble Sports again. Fortunately, that's my CFO, so he knows there's a lot of love there. Drew, is there still room for our mock draft? Let's see. How many people do we have in so far? We have 4. 4 people in our 10-team mock draft. Butt Fumble Sports, Ben Barnes, Jorge, and IP Shade 45, so there is room. Drew, if you want to get in on this fantasy football mock draft, we will be doing it about 30 minutes. DM us on Instagram. That's Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. We will send you the link so you guys can participate. So if you want to get in on our mock draft in about a half hour, make sure you either DM us on Instagram. I'll share the link with you there. Or if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, you can hit the link that's attached, that's pinned, and you can jump right into Sleeper and join. Hammer Vice, we do a mock draft almost every single day now at about 1:30, 1:40 every day. So if you want to be a part of it, just hit us up. Each day we'll do one. We are here to help fantasy football owners get ready for the season, so we're going to do one almost every day. IP Shade 45, are you awesome or what? Hitting that confetti. Let's give out some more picks. We've also hit 8,000 likes because you guys are ballers. So we have another pick to give out immediately after a long ball, long shot of the day. I believe Jorge shared the channel as well. So we have another stolen base pick to give out. I'm going to give out my remaining MLB game picks right now. I'm going to give them out right now. IP Shade 45, you've been doing so much work hitting that confetti. Really appreciate you getting us halfway to our live goal, or almost. Let me give out the rest of my picks. I have 5 more MLB game picks to give out. So everybody say thank you to IP Shade 45 for helping us out with that live goal. I'll take the Rangers on the money line. I will take the Padres first 5 on the money line. I will take the Padres on the game money line. I will take the Blue Jays plus 1.5, and I will take the Dodgers on the money line. Those are all of my MLB game picks on the screen. Every MLB game pick that I had prior to the show is up on the screen right now. Up on the screen right now. By the way, Drew, thank you so much for subscribing, Drew. Drew, welcome into this great Butt Fumble Sports community. And Drew is now going to be a part of our fantasy football mock draft. He hit us up on Instagram. So, Drew, I am going to send you that link right now. If any of you guys want to be like Drew and join our fantasy football mock draft, just DM us on Instagram. Drew, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to Butt Fumble Sports, Drew. Welcome to it. By the way, you even get the little logo, the Butt Fumble Sports logo next to your name when you subscribe. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I hadn't seen that yet before. Very nice. Okay, I have a couple more picks to give out. Let's give out a long ball, long shot of the day. And actually, well-timed on this one. Arctic Tiger just talked about this player. I'm taking Marcus Semien for a home run today. Marcus Semien for a home run. Let me show you what I could get him on a home run. Marcus Semien on over half a home run. 18% implied probability, plus 460. Can I get him on over half a hit as well? No. Hits, runs, RBIs? No. Total bases is what I'm going to... Nope, don't like it. How about over half a run? Over half a run is what I'm going to take. So Marcus Semien, minus 135 here. Marcus Semien, over half a run. Marcus Semien, over half a run. There is another play up on the board for you guys. Hope you're enjoying them. We have also hit 8,000 likes. So we have another long ball, long shot of the day to give out. You guys are crushing it. Next one I'm going to give out, Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman to hit a home run today. Let's get him up on the board. I know a couple of you guys were asking about him. Freddie Freeman to hit a home run today. The odds on it, 19% implied probability, plus 420 on the odds. Can we get him on over half a hit? No. Hits, runs, RBIs? Yes, we can. This is cashed in 8 of the last 10, 5 straight games, minus 150, taking it. That's Freddie Freeman over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. It is on the board, everybody. Yeah, Freeman has been red hot. Freeman has been so hot of late. Hansel. He's so hot right now. Nathaniel Lowe. Okay, interesting. I did not have Nathaniel Lowe or Lau, whatever it is, Nathaniel Lowe on my board. I don't like him today. He does not have good numbers. if my memory serves me correct. Against the starting pitcher he's facing, yeah, right, he's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. I know this has been very consistent. I'm not going to take this today. Because of the matchup with the starting pitcher, not going to take it. Oh, Freedom? Freedom been hot? All right, bing bong, Freedom. Let's go, everybody. Okay, we've given out all of my MLB game picks so far. If you guys are curious, here are all of those MLB game picks on the screen right now, so you can see all of those. Additionally, we will also be going through a bunch of player prop bets in 1 second of players that I think are going to have a really good day against the hitter, the pitcher they're facing. Tito's full send. We already did our walks allowed. We actually did that earlier in the show. Here are all the players we think are going to allow. Can I get some walks allowed? IP Shade 45 dropping that confetti, which means we have more picks to give out. Let's go. The next round of picks. All the picks I'm about to give out are players that I had jotted down in my notes that I think are going to have a good day. But before we do that, actually, I have to give out another stolen base pick because Jorge shared the channel. I'm going to go with Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Witt Jr. to get a stolen base today. I could see him going yard, by the way, but I'm not taking it there. I like him more on the stolen base than I do on the home run. Over half a stolen base, 31% implied probability, plus 225. Love that. Can I get him on over half a hit? No. Hits, runs, RBIs, 1.5, taking it. So Bobby Witt Jr., minus 150, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Getting it up here. Bobby Witt Jr., over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. Boom. Good plays to be had. Let's keep it going, everybody. I know, by the way, B, thank you so much for following us. Appreciate you following. If you subscribe, if you follow, I couldn't say thank you enough because we are so grateful for every single sports fan that we add to this great community of real sports fans. And remember, But Fumble Sports is live at 12 p.m. every day. Though, unfortunately, I will have Wednesday, I shouldn't say every day, because Wednesday I have to go in for some surgery, some dental surgery, so there will be no show on Wednesday unless I do it later in the afternoon. But normally, when I don't have dental surgery, we are live every single day at 12 p.m. I know a lot of you guys are like, dental surgery? Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. No, I gotta get an implant put in, so we gotta get some dental work done. That said, I am going to go through right now, to get back to what we're talking about, I'm going to go through right now all the players that I like based on their hitter-pitcher matchup today. So we're going to do a rip of players that I like. I'm going to go set this. I'm going to set our outlier research board at hits. I'm looking for over half a hit from these guys. Over half a hit. First one, Jock Peterson. Nope, not there. CJ Abrams. CJ Abrams over 1.5 hits. Don't like that. What about hits, runs, RBIs? I do like this one. Taking it. CJ Abrams over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. Again, we're ripping through a bunch of players who have good matchups, good history against the pitcher they'll be facing. In case you guys are like, Butt Fumble Sports, can we really believe you on this? CJ Abrams, 1 for 2 with a home run against this pitcher. Boom. Let's keep it going. I'll get to a bunch of your questions in just 1 second, so don't hesitate to put those questions out there. But I did want to rip through a lot of the picks that I like. I know we're getting close to time to do our mock draft at 1:30, so I want to get these out there. Already put Jimenez on the board. Did I get Jose Ramirez up here already? No, I didn't, so I got to get Jose Ramirez up here as well. Jose Ramirez, oh, we said we didn't like anything because it's, 1.5 and over half a run, and that's why that was the case. Okay, let me then go to the next one. Next one is going to be J.P. Crawford. Just looking for over half a hit here. Over half a hit, available at minus 220, taking it. J.P. Crawford over half a hit. Is a leg of a parlay. Let's keep going. Next one that I'm going to go with is going to be Jose Abreu. Jose Abreu, over half a hit, minus 220, taking it. Leg of a parlay. We're giving out a lot of parlay plays today. Might be a good day to put together a nice 3, 4 leg parlay based off of some of these hits. Next one, Chas McCormick. Really good numbers against the starting pitcher. Not chalky, but a great implied probability. Let's get him up here. Chas McCormick over half a hit, and it's not chalky. Not chalky. That's a good one. Let's go to the next one. Next player that I really like today, William Contreras. Over half a hit, 71%. Not great odds on anything. Can I get it on 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs? Yes, I can. Yes, I will. So William Contreras over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. That's another one for you guys. Again, we're ripping through players we think are going to have a good day today. Guys we think will go over their hit total or hits, runs, and RBI total. Next one I'm going to take, we already talked about Mookie Betts. So in case you guys missed it, Mookie Betts up on my board in a couple different places. Also, we already have Freddie Freeman up on our board. Just want to make note of that. Talked about JD Martinez, didn't see him in the lineup. Let's look at Jason Hayward. Over half a hit. Taking that for sure. Minus 149. Thank you. That's a great play. Jason Hayward over half a hit. And finally, the last one that I like. I also like him on a home run, so I'll put him here as well. Dalton Varsho. Dalton Varsho to hit a home run. Let me show you what I could get him on the home run. Dalton Varsho on over half a home run. 16% implied probability, plus 520. How about on over half a hit? Minus 155. Oh, buddy, do I love it. You can put it on the board. Yes, sir. Dalton Varsho over half a hit. Love that play. So again, here are a bunch of our player prop bets that we just put up on the board. By the way, Tito's full send. You just hit on another player that I love today to hit a home run. Willy Adames. Willy Adames. Love him today as well. Willy Adames to hit a home run. And in fact, I have now given out all of my long ball, long shots of the day plays. All of them are up here. Willy Adames was the last one. Love taking him today as well. Willy Adames to hit a home run. 19% implied probability, plus 420. Can I get him on over half a hit? You bet I can. Minus 230. I'm taking it. So Willy Adames over half a hit. Now, it is the leg of a is it the leg of a parlay? Yeah, it is. Now, additionally, I'm kind of with you. 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I'm going to take this one as well. I am all over Willy Adames today. Boom. We are on the board with a lot of good plays. Hope you guys have been paying attention. Let's get to some of your questions. We have just a few minutes to go before we do our celebrity shot contest, or before we do our fantasy football mock draft. So, someone was asking about Lane Thomas. Boy, we loved Lane Thomas almost every day. Lane Thomas has been such a good player for us. Over half a hit, good play. I'm taking it, minus 248. This is not one I had prior to the show, so Lane Thomas, over half a hit, leg of a parlay. We also have another celebrity shot that just came in. Let's get Top Dog up on our board. Top Dog. Top Dog is going to go with Luis Castillo over 17.5 outs, like that play. And you, Darvish, over 17.5 outs as well. Think those are really good plays by Top Dog. Think that's a really good play. Both of those by Top Dog. Keep your eye on it, everybody. Keep your eye on it. Parlay, Thomas, Contreras, Varsho, Adames, over half a hit. Love it. The only one that I didn't have prior to the show was Lane Thomas. So, Jorge, if you took Lane Thomas out and had those other three, I'd certainly endorse it even more, only because those are three players that I had prior to the show myself, all getting a hit. Additionally, I've mentioned this to you guys a couple times. We are going to do a fantasy football mock draft in about 10 minutes. We will do a 10-team, non-PPR fantasy football mock draft at 1:30. We already have a bunch of people who have loaded into this one. If you guys want to get in on it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more spots available. If you guys want to get in on this fantasy football mock draft that we will be doing in 10 minutes, hit us up on Instagram. DM us on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram, or if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, there is a link pinned in the live. You can hit that and go claim the team. But we will do a mock draft in 10 minutes, everybody. Fantasy football mock draft of the day in 10 minutes. I have one more stolen base pick to give out. I've actually never heard of this dude before. I know he's a real person. I just was doing my research and came across him. Julian, over half a stolen base. Oh, it's not there. Can't take it, so I got to rip him off. No wonder. One time I tried to take him, he's not there. Anyways, here are all of our long ball long shots of the day. Players we think are going to get a home run. Here are all of our stealing is sharing picks of the day. Players we think are going to get a stolen base. We have given out all of the player prop bets I had prior to the show. All of our MLB game picks I had prior to the show. Everything is up there right now. Everything is up there right now. By the way, did Riley Green already cash a ticket? But looking at the box score for that Giants and Tigers game, and Riley Green, he got a double, everybody. Riley Green. A double for Riley Green. Nice job. And did we have someone who took that earlier? I believe we did. Riley Green, over half a hit. I'm just waiting for it to come in. He cashed on it. Nice job. Nice job, Tito's full send. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Nice job. Arctic Tiger, you're asking about Soto and Machado. Jorge, I like that replacement. I really like that replacement just based off of the history. Like that replacement. By the way, keep two. Have one that has Lane Thomas and have one parlay that doesn't. Jorge, don't just have one parlay. Have two, have one that has Lane, one that doesn't. I think that's a good play. Let's look at Juan Soto and Manny Machado. Juan Soto, over half a hit. Man, that's a good play. That's a good play. Let's just see if there are any the starting pitcher hasn't been announced yet. It is a right-handed pitcher. Soto hitting 290. I'm going to take Juan Soto over half a hit. This is a good play, everybody. Keep your eyes on this one. So Juan Soto over half a hit. It isn't the leg of a parlay. That's what attracted me to it at minus 188. I think that's a really good play. Additionally, hits, runs, RBIs. 57% on the over. I'm going to take it. I'm going to double down on Juan Soto. Juan Soto over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Let's go to Manny Machado now. Manny Machado, looking for him over half a hit. Wow, it's available. A little too chalky for me, though. Oh, there it is, minus 230. Okay. What about again, against right-handed pitchers so far this year? What are his stats? Machado hitting 232. I'm not going to take it for that reason. The 232 average, that's not attracting me to this play. So I won't take this one. I will avoid Manny Machado over half a hit. Has the draft been filled? No, it has not. We still have 4 spots available. So if you want to get in on our fantasy football mock draft in 7 minutes, hit us up on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports. DM us on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports. Hit us up on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. Just DM us. We will share the link with you so you guys can be in this mock draft. By the way, Tito's full send is 3 for 3 so far today. Cashed on a run in the first inning. Cashed on Riley Green. Cashed on, Spencer Torkelson as well. Wow, Tito's full send is en fuego. Cash City. By the way, Arctic Tiger cashed on Spencer Torkelson over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Good job, Arctic Tiger. Great job. You guys are coming in hot today. I freaking love it. You guys are on fire. So happy to see it. Way to go, everybody. You guys are killing it to start the day. Let's get Vlad Guerrero Jr. up on our research board. Let's see if he's worth taking. Vlad Guerrero Jr., over half a hit, not available. 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Set at 1.5. Good at really good implied probability. Has been decently consistent. Against Michael Grove, no lifetime stats. The reason I like Varsho, by the way, so much, ownership, 2 for 5, or rather 3 for 5 with a couple home runs. Love it. So that said, I do like Varsho, but I do like Vlad Guerrero Jr. This is a good play. I'll take Vladdy. Guerrero Jr. over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. That is Vlad Guerrero Jr. over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. Tito's full send, great job. Great job on it. Again, if you guys want to get in on our fantasy football mock draft, we will be doing that at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time today. So just a few minutes left. And by the way, Diego, no worries. I see your comment on Instagram, so I am going to accept, and I am sharing the link with you now. So Diego, get on into our mock draft. Few seconds left. We've hit 10,000 likes, by the way, everybody. I don't have any more long ball, long shots of the day to give out. I've given out all of my picks so far today because I knew that we had the mock draft. I wanted to get those out in a hurry. What's your favorite plus money play today? Oof. What's my favorite plus money play today? I got to tell you, I like Varsho to hit a home run. That's probably up there. I don't have too many plus money plays today. I got a couple that are like minus 120, minus 130. Not too many plus money plays today, just not as much action across the board. And because of that, fewer baseball games means the sports books don't offer as many plus money odds. They're trying to be smart about how they protect themselves with a limited schedule. But Varsho's probably the one I like the most to hit a home run out of this group. But really, I don't know if there are any plus money plays that I'm really like gaga about. Tito's full send. Bobby Witt Jr. on over half a steal is probably a good one as well. I think that's probably for the stolen base play. That's probably the best one, given that Ellie De La Cruz is not available. Got Giants at plus 120 last night. I didn't like the Giants to win outright. I like the Giants to cover the 1.5. So, and the fact that Tigers are already out to a 1-run lead kind of validates my thinking that I think the Tigers ultimately could win the game. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. All of our picks are up on the screen right now. That said, I am actually going to jump in and add all of these to our website right now as well. So, if you have celebrity shot picks, don't hesitate. We'll still get them into the show. But I want to get these picks up on our website right now, and that way you guys can check them out while we're doing our fantasy football mock draft. Usually not the order in which I do things, but I will throw our picks up on our website right now. That way, if you guys are watching the mock draft, but you want to see what the picks are, I won't have them up on the screen, so this will allow you guys to see them while you're also watching our mock draft, because I hope you stay around for the mock draft, everybody. Make sure you stay around for that. Scooball, 4 batters face 3 Ks. Great call on that one. Okay, I'm going to put my picks up on the board right now, or up on our website right now. So if you want to see all the picks that we're giving out today, all the picks that we've given out, make sure you go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. That's buttfumblesports.com. I am posting all of our picks from today's show up on our website right this second. Literally, as we speak, I am putting up my picks right now, so you guys can go check these out. You can see which ones you like. You can follow, you can fade, entirely up to you. But that way you guys are informed with all the picks that I like today. Need to just complete this, getting in our disclaimer. Again, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. All of these picks will be up there in a matter of seconds, and that way you guys can go check them out while we do our fantasy football mock draft in literally about 60 seconds, 2 minutes, we'll do a fantasy football mock draft. So, our cover boy for our picks today is going to be Varsho, because you guys know I'm about him today. So let's get Varsho up here. Bingo. And we now have all of our picks from today's show. Dalton Varsho. All of our picks from today's show are officially up on our website, everybody. buttfumblesports.com. All of our picks are up on our website, buttfumblesports.com. So if you missed any part of our show so far today, no troubles, Bubbles. We have picks that you can go find. And just in case you thought I was lying to you, boom, all the picks right there on our website, buttfumblesports.com, so you can go check those out right now. With that said, we are now going to get into our fantasy football mock draft. Appreciate all those who are watching the show. It is mock draft time, folks. It is 1:30, and we have a 10-team mock draft to go through. A 10-team mock draft. This is a non-PPR mock draft. So those that are participating, those that are watching, this is a non-PPR mock draft. I'm going to minimize my screen just so you can see all of the teams up on the screen so you guys can follow along, play along with us as we do our mock draft for July 24th. Welcome in, everybody. Everybody get ready. We are about to do our fantasy football mock draft. We have Bo Nose, Shade 45, El Pinche Humbo. That's cool. Andre, Jorge the Goat, Ben Barnes, and Butt Fumble Sports. We are doing a 10-team non-PPR snake mock draft right now, everybody. Okay. Want to make sure no one else hit me up on Instagram about getting into this fantasy football mock draft? Nope. This is our entire group. So, with that said, let's get to work, everybody. We got a mock draft to do. I am going to randomize the order. Randomizing. Boop, 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 boop. We have randomized. We are now drafting. Fortunately for me, Ben Barnes is not drafting right in front of me like yesterday because he absolutely crushed me, taking a lot of the players I liked ahead of me. So, with that said, let me close that. And we have a mock draft to get to, everybody. Are you ready to go? Are you ready? Are you set? And let's mock draft, everybody. Let's get it going. We are underway. Team 1 takes Justin Jefferson. Bo Nose is on the clock, everybody. So we are doing a non-PPR snake draft involving 10 teams. Bo Nose is the next pick on the clock. Bo Nose. Justin Jefferson went first. Interesting how many mock drafts I've done in which Justin Jefferson has gone first. Very surprised that a wide receiver has now reached the point where he's number 1 in a fantasy football mock draft. Bo Nose takes Austin Eckler. Bo Nose, you know I love Austin Eckler this year. He's been the one I've taken off the board most frequently. Let's see where Ben Barnes, my great villain, goes to. And yes, I give Ben Barnes a hard time because he's my CFO, so we have a great time. Christian McCaffrey off the board, smart play. By the way, we're getting a question from Griffin Carey. Hey, I offered Metcalf and Burks 2025 third for AJ Brown and Sutton. What do I think? I think you probably gave up too much. I think you gave up too much in that trade. We have our first tight end off the board with Travis Kelce. Bijan Robinson in a non-PPR comes off the board very early. Looking at the running backs, not crazy about the running backs that are available. But as you guys know, I usually like to take a running back with my first overall pick. The one I've been leaning towards pretty heavily has been Nick Chubb. I'm going to stay with that. Nick Chubb comes off the board. If Bijan hadn't gone to Jorge, I might have gone Bijan Robinson. But since this is a non-PPR draft, I actually like taking Nick Chubb. Given that Bijan will be better as a PPR player, I think Nick Chubb was actually good value where I got him. So we have 2 wide receivers off the board, 4 running backs, and 1 tight end. With El Pinche up on the draft board, the clock is ticking, and he takes Tyreek Hill. Bit of a run on wide receiver now as we get Hill and A.J. Brown coming off the board. Shade 45 is now up. IP Shade 45. Great to have you in our mock draft today. Again, we do a mock draft almost every day, everybody, at about 1:30 Eastern Time. Almost every day we will be doing a mock draft, and we post it to YouTube every day so you guys can rewatch it. IP Shade 45 doubles up on running back. Taylor and Stevenson, I think that's a smart play. By the way, Team 9, which is an auto draft, they took Cooper Kupp. I think Cooper Kupp is probably the player in my auction draft that I will nominate first and I will not bid on. I think Cooper Kupp is going to have a disappointing year given his standard of play over the past few seasons. I think Cooper Kupp could actually be someone that you could kind of bait people into taking and see how they do. Griffin Carey, to your question, if you could get Metcalf Burks in a 2025 pick, I like them more than Brown and Sutton, actually. I like that more than Sutton. Appreciate you guys being with us. El Pinche is on the clock. Final few seconds for this pick. Who's he going to go with? Final few seconds, running out of time. Take CeeDee Lamb. So the run on wide receiver, you can just see, run on wide receiver has been happening in the first 2 rounds of a draft a bit more than I expected. This is why we do the mocks. Now, I'm back on the clock. You guys know I really like taking running backs with my first 2-3 picks. That said, I might look towards wide receiver on this one, and I'm going to take Garrett Wilson. I might take him a little bit early here, but there's been a bit of a run on wide receiver. Garrett Wilson with Aaron Rodgers might be a bit early to take this, but I don't think I'll get him in the 3rd round, so I took him there. Rather have Wilson than Stephon Diggs, actually, believe it or not. Jorge took Stephon Diggs. So that run on wide receiver definitely happening. We've had 6 wide receivers taken in the last 8 picks. It tells you wide receiver, really important to draft them early. I still think running back is the number 1 position to focus on, but wide receiver certainly number 2. That's why I'm interested why so many tight ends or quarterbacks are coming off the board early. I think that's a bit of a mistake. Andrew takes Josh Jacobs, a nice little team Andrew's building. By the way, Evans is better value in non-PPR than PPR, in my opinion. Interesting call, Tito's full send. Ben Barnes takes Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's a great pick. For me, it was really between Wilson, Diggs, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, so I definitely applaud Ben Barnes and Jorge, the GOAT, for taking those 2 guys next. Those were the right guys to take off the board. Griffin, thank you so much for joining us. If you guys have any fantasy football questions, never hesitate. Now, this is something I would want to make sure you guys don't do. Team 1, which is an auto draft team, took 3 wide receivers with their first 3 picks. No. That is not what you should be doing. I definitely would not encourage that. You got to get a top running back in the first 3 rounds. Otherwise, you are missing out. That said, Bo Knows is building a really strong team. Eckler, Henry, and Ridley. Love the 3 that Bo Knows has up on the board so far. Ben Barnes with a good group. McCaffrey, I feel like, was a bit of a force. You had to. Really like Amon-Ra St. Brown. It sounds like Breece Hall will be ready for week 1, so I like what Ben Barnes is doing as well. My great nemesis, also known as my chief financial officer. Andrew goes with Tony Pollard. I think it's smart to get your second running back. Good call, especially because you could just see, was Tony Pollard going to make it out of the next maybe 4 or 5 picks? Absolutely not. So I think Andrew made a smart call there, getting Tony Pollard when he could. Jorge is now on the clock. Jorge goes ETN. Really nice pick. Team 6 is an auto draft, so not surprised they went Kelsey and Mahomes, kind of building out a starting lineup. I think Mahomes in the 3rd round's probably the right time to take him, 3rd or 4th round. I wouldn't go much sooner. I need another running back. I'm going to go with Jahmyr Gibbs. Love what I'm hearing about him. I like him more in PPR leagues. This is a non-PPR league that we're drafting for right now, but I do like Jahmyr Gibbs. If ETN had been there, I might have taken ETN over Gibbs, but the fact that Gibbs, to me, was my favorite player still up on the board makes it easy to take him. So I have my 2 starting running backs. I have a starting wide receiver. I like how Butt Fumble Sports' draft is going. I think Jorge's done a nice job. I think Andrew's done a nice job. Ben Barnes has done a nice job, and Bo Knows has done a nice job. By the way, though, El Pinche, interesting that he took a quarterback. I still think you're now running the risk of only having 1 wide receiver through the first 4 rounds. I don't like that. I feel like you got to do better there. Team 9, 3 wide receivers in the first 3 picks. Have you guys noticed a trend? The teams that are auto drafting are taking wide receivers very quickly. I like that because it means more running backs for me. Okay. IP Shade 45 went doubling up on the wide receivers. Higgins and Metcalf, good call. Harris went next, then Walker. Butt Fumble Sports back on the clock. Have my 2 running backs. Want to go towards wide receiver here. Love that Devontae Smith's still on the board. That's a steal for me. Love being able to take him here. So I have my 2 running backs, my 2 wide receivers. This draft is going exactly how I want it to go, given that I'm drafting 7th. That's a really good team for drafting 7th. Team 8 goes Keenan Allen. You can just tell Team 8, the auto draft, they're just trying to build a starting lineup. Jorge the GOAT goes with a quarterback here. A little surprised you didn't go wide receiver, but not surprised. Jalen Hurts, could expect good production from him this year. Andrew takes DeAndre Hopkins. I felt like that was the first reach I've really seen. Hopkins, I just don't have as much faith in his production, especially with Tennessee. Debo Samuel, Ben Barnes. I thought Debo was the best remaining player up on the wide receiver board, so Ben Barnes with a nice pick there. Ben Barnes is having a good mock draft if you ask me. Let's see where Bo Nose goes next. Wide receiver, quarterback, tight end, or a third running back. I think wide receiver or quarterback here. I really think wide receiver is the play. But let's see. We've had 3 quarterbacks taken so far. Only 1 tight end. I think I told you guys, I would wait on tight ends. I'd wait on quarterbacks. I think there's some value. Bo Nose goes Amari Cooper. Team 1 takes Burrow and Mark Andrews. By the way, Team 1 doesn't have a running back yet. So the mock draft is the auto select is got its head up its butt fumble, that's for sure. Bo Nose back on the clock. I think Bo Nose is having a really good draft. Eckler, Henry, Ridley, and Cooper, those are really good picks given where you were drafting. Eckler was 2nd overall. Henry was the end of that 2nd round. Ridley, I think Bo Nose is having a nice draft. Adds Justin Herbert as his quarterback. Ben Barnes, where does he go? We've now seen 5 quarterbacks taken. Will there be a run on quarterback in round 5? Still think it might be a little early. By the way, Diego, great to have you in the mock. Drake London, I think that's a nice pick from Ben Barnes. Maybe a round too early, but given how wide receivers have been gobbled up by Team 1 and Team 9, not a bad play. Andrew is next on our clock. Ben Barnes, the only suggestion I would make is I'd rather have 3 running backs than I'd rather have 3 wide receivers. Just something to think about. Andrew is on the clock. Will he add some depth? Will he go towards a different position? Let's see where Andrew goes with this. He's taken Lamar Jackson. That was the quarterback I was going to take. If Lamar was still on the board, I would have taken him. Jorge takes Hawkinson. 2 players I really like were Lamar and Hawkinson, so not happy with how things are playing out now. I got to take Trevor Lawrence. Quarterbacks are going too fast for me. I don't want to get shut out and get stuck with Deshaun Watson or Dak Prescott like yesterday. I'll take Trevor Lawrence. So I got my quarterback probably around sooner than I would have liked, but felt like I was forced to. Diego, also known as El Pinche, is on the draft clock. He went with a couple wide receivers early, Hill and Lamb, like those 2. Then Allen and Walker. Feel like he's got to go running back right now. Aaron Jones on the board, Joe Mixon, Miles Sanders, Dameon Pierce, Cam Akers. Those are the top 5 running backs. Feel like you need that second running back by if you don't have 2 running backs by the end of the 5th round, I think you're in a tough spot. I think it's just hard to get good value. Aaron Jones goes next. Team 9 gets another running back in Dameon Pierce. Harris and Pierce are okay 1-2 punches given how Team 9 kind of played out the first couple rounds of this one. Now IP Shade 45 is on the clock. He's got 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Is it quarterback time for Shade 45? Is it tight end? Is it some depth at running back or wide receiver? Let's see where IP Shade 45 goes. Again, back-to-back picks in this snake draft. Butt Fumble Sports does a mock draft every single day, so if you guys want to be a part of our mock draft, just DM us, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram, or watch our show from noon to 1, and we will give out the link every day. So IP Shade 45 got his tight end. 4 tight ends off the board. Judy Moore come off next. Run on wide receiver here. That's why I'm happy I got my 2 wide receivers when I did. Let's look at tight end. Kyle Pitts is the next one. Do I really want Kyle Pitts? I'd rather wait another round to get a tight end. I think that's probably the better move. So, wide receiver, Terry McLaurin, Watson, Godwin. Not crazy about him. Running back is where I've got to go. I'm going to go with, this is tough for me, Joe Mixon or Miles Sanders. I kind of like both of them. I feel like Joe Mixon's probably more prone to injury, so I'll take Miles Sanders and I'll get my 3rd running back. Joe Mixon goes next, so I'm glad I got my running back when I did. Feel like by the time you get to round 7, really important that you have 3 running backs. It's important to have 2 by round 5, 3 by round 7, because once you get past round 7, really, really hard to be able to get a good running back. Jorge takes Terry McLaurin, adding to his team. I think that's a good pick. His 2nd wide receiver. He needed a wide receiver. That's a good play. By the way, Jorge now pretty much has his starting lineup, and it is a solid one if I do say so myself. Andrew now on the clock. Andrew goes Dalvin Cook. Interesting that you took Hopkins and Cook, both players who we kind of have some question marks about how they're going to play this year. So interesting you took both of them. Ben Barnes takes Cam Akers. He needed a running back for depth. Good call. Bo Nose is now on the clock. Bo Nose took 2 running backs, then 2 wide receivers, a quarterback. If he went with a tight end, I wouldn't be shocked, but I think depth at running back or wide receiver is probably more valuable. Let's see where Bo Knows goes. Pacheco, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. Getting that player for depth at the end of the 6th round. Mike Williams and James Conner go next. Bo Knows is back on the clock. He takes Kyle Pitts. I was hoping Kyle Pitts would fall to me in this round, but I think that's a good pick. I think Kyle Pitts at round 7 is appropriate. I thought round 6 might have been one round too fast. Round 7, I think that's appropriate. Kyle Pitts, I do like that. I will be looking at tight end. That's a position of need for me in this round. Now that I've got my 3 running backs, tight end would probably be the only position I really need. Wide receiver depth would probably come in second. I think London might have gone a bit too high, but I think that Ben Barnes knew he needed a wide receiver in round 5. So we've had Swift, Waller, White, and Godwin go next. I have my pick now on the clock. At wide receiver, there's really nobody that I'm like gaga about, so I will go tight end. Dallas Goedert is probably the best pick here, probably what I should go towards. I'm gonna take Dallas Goedert, but I'm definitely gonna take a second tight end at some point in this draft. I will get a backup tight end over the next maybe 3 rounds. Diego El Pinche gets Freiermuth. Watson goes next. So IP Shade 45 is now on the clock. IP Shade goes Madison. That's a good pick where he got him. End of the 7th round, I think that's a really good pick, IP Shade 45. To get Madison as your 3rd running back, I think that's good depth. Good depth. Godwin over Evans, I think so, Tito's full send. I think Godwin is the better pick over Evans. Team 9 takes Justin Fields. El Pinche, also known as Diego, is now on the clock. He has 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, could use probably some running back depth. Looking at the running backs on the board, Williams, Kamara, Montgomery, Cook, and Gibson. Like I said, by round 7, round 8, you really need 3 running backs rather, because if you don't have the 3, it gets really tough to find some depth. And again, running backs usually get hurt. So I'd rather have running backs in the first 7 than anything else. Where's Diego going to go with his pick? He takes Kamara. That's smart. Now, I already have my 3 running backs, Chubb, Gibbs, and Sanders. So I feel really good. I have 2 wide receivers. I've got Dallas Goedert. Where am I going to go? I'm going to go back to wide receiver, and I am going to go with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Might be a bit of a reach. Some of you would say, hey, why don't you just take Tyler Lockett? Why don't you take Christian Kirk? I think Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to have a breakout year. I would give him my Chris Olave of the Year award, the rookie wide receiver that I actually think is going to have a really good year. So I'll make a bit of a reach here because I don't think I'll see him next round, is Jackson Smith and Jigba. The run on wide receiver kind of goes as Michael Pittman goes next. Jorge, he's got 2 wide receivers. He's got 3 running backs. He takes Christian Kirk. That's a good pick, Jorge. That's a good pick. Drew, I like it. We're thinking alike. It means you're a smart guy, Drew. Let's see what Andrew goes towards here. Andrew's got 3 running backs. That's solid. 2 wide receivers. That's solid. He's got a good quarterback, a good tight end. Where does he need the depth? Probably a wide receiver. I'm glad I started this run on wide receiver. If you do snake drafts, it is so important. Much like the NFL draft at large, you want to be the team that starts the run, not the team that's forced to take a pick because of a run. Like right now, I know Andrew probably needs to take a wide receiver. That said, I hate being a team that's taking the 4th wide receiver off the board in a row, only because you're starting to lose the value from that position. Final few seconds, and he takes Tony. Andrew, too early on Kadarius Toney for me. Definitely a reach. He did suffer an injury yesterday. I don't think he's going to play the full year, not because of this injury, but just his injury history. But I do like his production. So Tony off the board. Ben Barnes finally takes a tight end, and it's a good one. Njoku in round 8, that's a steal for me. For Ben Barnes to get Njoku in round 8, he proved to have good numbers with the Deshaun Watson last year. I think that carries over to this year, especially in the red zone. I think that's a really good pick by Barnes, especially Ben. You didn't rush it. You could have taken him when there was that run on tight end in the 7th round. I like the fact that you waited. You got him in the 8th round. I think that's a good play. Juju Smith-Schuster goes next. Good call to take Juju by Bo Nose. Williams and Brown then go next. I hate Marquise Brown. I'm just saying it now. Marquise Brown is a player I wouldn't touch with a 12-foot pole this year. I hate the wide receivers for the Arizona Cardinals. That is a player I would not take if you offered to him for free. I wouldn't take it. Bo Nose is now back on the clock as we are over halfway through our fantasy football mock draft. Lockett comes off the board. Bo Nose, I actually love what you're doing here. Pacheco, Pitts, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Lockett. Those are good bench plays. I know Kyle Pitts will be your starting tight end, but I think this is a really good bench that Bo Nose is building. He's got a good starting lineup. I think Bo Nose is having one of the better drafts that we have right now. Nyheim Hines. There was breaking news this morning. Running back for the Buffalo Bills, Nyheim Hines, is out for the year with a knee injury. It was not on the field of play. He was jet skiing, I believe, and actually someone else ran into him, suffered a knee injury. It is not life-threatening, but it will cost him his season. So no Nyheim Hines this year. Ben Barnes takes James Cook. Not crazy about that, but a better pick now with Nyheim Hines out. I think Damian Harris and James Cook's value just went up because of that injury. Still think it might not be a great pick here. Still think that was a bit of a reach. Jorge the Goats is on deck with Andrew picking, and Team 6 is in the hole, and then yours truly, Butt Fumble Sports, is picking after that. We are in round 9 of 15 rounds. This is a non-PPR snake draft, a mock draft for all of those who are looking for some good advice on how to build their drafts. We've had a run on wide receiver, Myers, Evans, and Deontay Johnson. Fortunately for me, I already got my backup wide receiver the last round. I'm going to get another running back, and actually, I'm going to go Brian Robinson. He really impressed me last year. I love how strong he is, especially at the red zone. Think he could be a good substitute running back on weeks that I have a bye week or something. Think he could get me a touchdown, and that would be all I need. If you are drafting a backup running back and you play them, if they get you a touchdown, they gave you enough points for you to be able to say it was a good pick. El Pinche, also known as Diego, is now on the clock, and then Team 9 and IP Shade 45 will finish out round 9. Again, this is 15 rounds. Evan Ingram, Diego doubling up on the tight end, good call. That's absolutely where I was going to go in round 10 was a second tight end, and Evan Ingram was going to be that guy, so a great call by El Pinche Diego to take away the tight end. Doubling up on tight end is not a bad move, especially when you don't have like a Travis Kelce. If you have a Travis Kelce, then you shouldn't double up on it, but I think that's a good play. I think I probably could have gotten Robinson in the 10th round. I agree with you. I probably reached a little bit on that, but he was the player that I wanted, Jorge, so I was willing to draft him one round earlier than I probably should have just to secure him. Now I have my running backs. I have 4 running backs. That kind of sets it. Team 9 takes Montgomery. El Pinche already drafted the second tight end, so wouldn't expect him to go anywhere but wide receiver, running back here. That allows me to start looking at tight end. That'll be the pick that I make next. Good team that Diego's building. Don't like the running back position, probably the weakest area of his team. But other than that, really like the team that Diego is building. Think running back is weak, though. Diego making his 10th round pick. We have 5 rounds to go here in this fantasy football mock draft. We do a mock draft almost every day here at Butt Fumble Sports. So if you want to participate in these mock drafts, we let you guys at home join in on the fun. Just DM us on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports. That's at Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. You can join us every day for our mock drafts. Okay, I'm going to go with a tight end. I mentioned this to you guys before. I actually am not going to go with Dalton Kincaid. I've been crazy about Dalton Kincaid. I'm going to go Dalton Schultz, and I'm going to say that C.J. Stroud actually has a better year than people think. This is a second tight end, so it's a nice little piece of balancing it out with Dallas Goedert. I'll take Dalton Schultz. Gibson goes next by Team 6. Jorge takes Quentin Johnston. Nice rookie pick. Andrew takes Jamal Williams. Ben Barnes now on the clock. 3 picks left in round 10. Charbonnet, that's a good pick by Ben Barnes to get some additional depth at running back. He now has 4, 5, 6. How many running backs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs for Ben Barnes. He is making sure he has all the running backs. Where will Bo Nose go next? He's had a couple of wide receivers in his last few rounds. Those running backs are pretty hard to get now that Ben Barnes has kind of blocked everybody out. Penny, P. Ryan, Herbert. Damian Harris, again, might be a good sleeper pick. Guys, Damian Harris, that might be one with this injury to Nyheim Hines. Might be a nice play. Drew, I agree with you. I think Ben Barnes is in the trade position. By the way, Team 1 took Anthony Richardson. Guys, do not take Anthony Richardson in your drafts. It sounds like he's not going to start the season as the quarterback. It sounds like it could be midway through the year before he gets a start for the Colts. Do not take Anthony Richardson in your drafts. I think you will be wasting a pick. Bo Nose got a quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa. That's his second to pair with Justin Herbert. I think that's really good. By the way, Ben Barnes finally took a quarterback at Deshaun Watson, made sure he had enough running backs. I do think Ben Barnes is going to want to trade some of those running backs. Here's the problem. Who wants these guys? Akers, Swift, Cooks, Charbonnet? I don't think there's a player there that I would actually want. So, Andrew, I like the Michael Thomas. That's a good spot in round 11 to get Michael Thomas. Just as a flyer, I think that's a really good pick. So, Andrew, I like that one. Especially since you're kind of taking some flyers on Tony, Myers, and Thomas. I think one of those guys will pan out for you. Samaje P. Ryan went next. Then Brandon Cooks. I like that Brandon Cooks pick. It's too bad that happened right before me because I probably would have taken Brandon Cooks. I need a wide receiver. Fortunately, a wide receiver that I am frickin' gaga about. I love this wide receiver, and I am hearing out of early camp that this guy is on fire and proving to be the best wide receiver on his team. That's Zay Flowers, everybody. I'm hearing Zay Flowers is dazzling the Baltimore Ravens staff, is dazzling his teammates. I think Zay Flowers is going to have a massive rookie year. So between Jackson Smith and Jigba, Zay Flowers, I've got a couple of rookie wide receivers. I expect at least one of them to have a big breakout Chris Olave kind of year. El Pinche, also known as Diego, is now on the clock. Let's see where El Pinche goes next. What do I think about Jalen Hyatt? Not hearing good things out of the Giants camp. I actually think that he could be a draft and stash for the Giants, which means I don't think he's a good pick for you guys at home. I actually wouldn't take Jalen Hyatt. I think he is overhyped by Giant fans. I don't actually think he's going to have that much production this year. McKinnon and Penny come off the board, a couple of running backs. We are in the final 4 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds of our mock draft. IP Shade 45, who got Jordan Addison with his 10th round pick, is back on the clock. He takes a kicker. So I still think, okay, IP Shade 45 does something that I think is a bit too early to do. He went kicker, he went defense. Now there's a run on defense. I'm going to have to take a defense. I don't want to, but I don't want to get shut out with the defensive plays. IP Shade 45 started the trend, and I don't want to get caught behind it. I am going to take the Eagles defense. I'm not really for taking defenses and kickers before round 13, but I just see what IP Shade 45 just did, threw a wrench into our draft by taking a kicker, by taking a defense, set the trend of defenses. I don't want to get shut out and get stuck with like the Browns defense, so I took the Eagles defense right there. Not normally something I do, but you got to read the drafts as they come along. I'm not for taking kickers and defense before round 13, but if you see that in round 12 you might get shut out, you got to go make a move. That's something I would also recommend, is have a plan for your drafts, but also be flexible. Kind of like, again, an NFL draft. If there's a player who's out there that you didn't expect to still be on the board, don't not take them just because you didn't have them. Try to build in a little bit of audible calling into your mock draft. Just enough flexibility that you could go get the player or team that you want. Andrew goes with Miami Dolphins defense. Ben Barnes takes Dalton Kincaid. You guys know I am crazy about Dalton Kincaid. I think he could be an absolute steal for the Buffalo Bills in their 2023 draft. I think he is going to be their version of Travis Kelce, find some room in the seams. I think Dawson Knox remains their kind of red zone primary tight end. I think Dalton Kincaid will be the between the 20s tight end. I think he could produce great production. Good draft by Ben Barnes there. Bo Nose goes Michael Mayer. Like that pick as well. There's been a run on tight end now. Now you would expect some defenses and kickers to come off the board. Defenses especially. Just given that we've had a run on defenses, I'm sure a couple of you guys don't want to get shut out. Jets defense by Bo Nose. That's a good call. Jets defense is a good one. They're going to play in a tough division. That's the only reason I like the Eagles defense more than I like the Jets defense is the Eagles playing in the NFC East. I think they're going to have a better opportunity against the offenses they're playing. Jets are going to play some tough offenses. Ben Barnes getting Cortland Sutton in the 13th round is a steal. Cortland Sutton in the 13th round is an absolute steal. He is a player I was going to target in this round. So Ben Barnes, nice pick. Andrew takes Odell Beckham Jr. I like that pick as well. Jorge is on the clock. Where does Jorge go? Seahawks defense, team 6 is taking Kirk Cousins. I'm not going to take a backup quarterback in this draft, at least right now. Still looking at other positions. I'm going to take Tyler Algier. That's a good sleeper pick. That is my 5th running back in Tyler Algier. He had a good year last year. Just because they drafted Bijan Robinson, I think this is a really good pick with Tyler Algier. Diego, incoming sleeper. Josh Downs. That's a great pick. Diego, Josh Downs. I love that pick. Nice call. I think he could have a good year. Good call by Diego. Dulcich comes off the board with Team 9. Geno Smith is the quarterback for IP Shade 45. That's his second quarterback. He's pairing Geno with Dak Prescott. Two guys who could have good weeks, so not a bad 1-2 combo. Interesting what IP Shade 45 has done over his last 3 picks. Kicker, defense, second quarterback. Building out that end of the starting lineup and some depth on the bench. I think the Falcons' backfield is really strong. I also think Arthur Smith is going to force them to run the ball. I think he's going to be heavy on the run. Team 9 takes a kicker. Kind of tells me I need to take a kicker because we've already gotten 2 off the board. I don't want to get shut out. I'll take my kicker here in round 14. Like I said, rounds 13 and 14 are usually where I like to take my defense and kicker, so fine taking it here. I'll take Harrison Butker, just believing in the Chiefs offense. Carlson goes next. So the run on kicker has really started. You don't want to get shut out on the kicker, but then again, there are plenty of kickers to get, so it's really about when the run happens on kickers. You just don't want to get boxed out. Jorge is next. He took the Seattle defense his last time up. And he takes Tyler Bass. Andrew now on the clock. Moody, this run on kickers continues. Ben Barnes, he needs a kicker. Is he going to go there? He does. Coup. Bo Nose, the run on kicker. Will it continue? Bo Nose takes McManus. Myers next. Buccaneers defense. So the run on kicker was pretty strong. Bo Nose is going to double down on defense with the Steelers defense. Love that play. Really smart, really good play by Bo Nose to get a second defense to go with the Jets. Think that's a nice play. Zeke Elliott, that's an interesting call by Andrew. Low risk, high reward on getting Zeke right now. GOAT, I love Kmet where you got him. Round 15, Cole Kmet, that is a steal. Team 6, this is an auto draft team. Why would anyone draft the Vikings defense? They have more holes than Swiss cheese. Let's look, I want a wide receiver now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 wide receivers. I don't have a backup quarterback. I'll get one just in case, and I'll take Jared Goff. Jared Goff is my backup quarterback to go along with Trevor Lawrence. I love that. That's a good team. Diego goes Gano, Jaguars defense for Team 9, and IP Shade 45 after taking Laporta last pick. Love Sam Laporta. That is a great pick, and he takes Rice. IP Shade 45 had some questionable picks in the back end of the draft, but really good in building depth and the end of his starting lineup. Let's look really quickly at the teams. So team one, really heavy on wide receiver. As I said to you guys, they didn't get a running back until round 7. That is a failure. If you're drafting in a snake draft and you don't get a running back until round 7, just know you're going to lose. Just know that. Or you have to play the waiver wire so heavily. I think that's a terrible call, but team one was an auto draft, so not surprised. Bo Knows up next. Love how he started. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a quarterback, got good good running back depth, then got Kyle Pitts. I really like this team by Bo Knows. I think Damian Harris might be a steal. I think Michael Mayer pairing him with Kyle Pitts is a nice 1-2 punch. Tua and Herbert, that's nice. McManus, a good kicker, and now with Jacksonville, so he'll get plenty of opportunities for points. And finally, 2 good defenses. Really like the team that Bo Knows drafted. Looking at Ben Barnes, my great nemesis, also known as my chief financial officer, Christian McCaffrey, Hall, Akers, and Swift. I feel like he got a ton of running backs. Other than McCaffrey and Hall, though, don't really like a third running back that he took. Brown, Samuel, and London, I actually like those 3. Think that's a pretty good trio. And Njoku was a nice pick, certainly a steal at round 8. I think waiting on Deshaun Watson is probably the one area where it's like you probably could have gotten a better quarterback sooner, but Deshaun Watson could have a good year, so I think Ben Barnes had a pretty good draft. The only area that I think he really struggled, waited too long on defense. Titans defense is poop. Andrew, let's look at Andrew's draft. Love Chase, Jacobs, and Pollard. You're dealing with 2 guys who might not be starting week 1 depending on health and contract situation. Just be mindful of that. Dalvin Cook, we don't know where he's going to land. Hopkins, how is he going to perform in that Titans offense? I love Lamar Jackson. I really like Waller. I think Tony, if he's healthy, is a good play. I think there were some good depth plays. Thomas and Ezekiel Elliott. There's some good kind of risky plays by Andrew. Low risk, high reward. But I'm not crazy about the starting lineup for Andrew. I like the risk, but he'll have to get some return on that risk. Jorge had a good draft. Bijan Robinson, Etienne. Rashad White is your 3rd. Might have waited 1 round too many. I would have rather had a running back here instead of McLaurin, but still not bad. Hurts and Hawkinson, those could be 2 of the best players at their positions. Kirk, Evans, Quentin Johnston did well there. I don't like the Seahawks defense. Defense is probably where you missed the most, but I thought Cole Kmet, that was a steal late in the draft. Team 6, got Kelsey in the 1st round, Barkley, Mahomes, Keenan Allen, Dobbins, and Mixon. Just not, this is a team in which you feel like it's an all-star team from a couple years ago. Not as high on this one, so not as high on Team 6 as I go through later in the draft. Just don't like how they filled out. Vikings is their defense. PU, stinkage. Now, let's grade Butt Fumble Sports. How did I do? Love that I got Nick Chubb where I did. Might have reached a little early on Wilson, but I wasn't going to get him in the 3rd round, so I like that. I like Jahmyr Gibbs, I like Smith, and I like Lawrence. Maybe a reach on Sanders, but I really wanted that 3rd running back as well. Goddard, not the tight end I wanted. I wanted Pitts. He went earlier in this round. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Flowers, love these 2 rookie wide receivers. Love the 2 rookie wide receivers. Robinson might have been a reach, but I wanted some depth. Getting Robinson and Algier as my 2 bench running backs, I think is a really good play, actually. Dalton Schultz might have been of a risk, pairing him with Goddard. Don't know what I'm going to get with him paired with a rookie quarterback. Eagles defense, I took probably 1 round earlier than I would have liked, but I got a good defense, and I didn't get shut out by the run-on defenses late in the draft. Bucker's the kicker I wanted. Love getting Goff with my last pick. El Pinche, how'd Diego do? Love how he started 2 top wide receivers. Maybe took a quarterback early. Could have probably waited on a quarterback, but okay, that's fine. Got 2 good running backs. Ayuk, not crazy about him this year, actually. I actually feel like after the top 2 wide receivers, the wide receivers kind of drop off. Not crazy about the bench. Not crazy about the bench that Diego built. Downs could be a nice play. I'm not big on Pickens. Maybe Ayuk and Pickens. That's why I'm not big on the 2 of them. So El Pinche, I like how you started. Didn't like the middle of your draft as much. I think the Cowboys could be a nice sleeper on defense, actually. That's not a bad pick. Looking at Team 9. Team 9 went 3 wide receivers in a row. Hate that strategy. Cooper Kupp, I just think he's going to be overvalued this year. Harris and Pierce, not bad, given that you were drafting them in the 4th and 5th round. But 2 more wide receivers, so you have 5 wide receivers in the first 7 rounds. That's just way too many. Justin Fields, getting him in the 8th round, that's a nice play. But you could just see Team 9 knew that they had to get in on this running back depth. Took 3 running backs that I'm not crazy about. Team 9 auto draft, not a big fan. Finally, IP Shade 45 had a really strong draft. I really like Taylor and Stevenson. 2 bell cow running backs like that production. Higgins and Metcalf like those as well, getting those back to back. Kittle, like that pick. Judy could be a sleeper. Judy could be a steal of this draft. Madison and Dillon, okay, some power backs could get you some touchdowns. Prescott and Geno Smith, that's a nice 1-2 punch. Don't feel like you have a stud number 1 quarterback, but given the matchups they'll have each week, not bad. Reached maybe early on the kicker, but clearly IP Shade 45 wanted the kicker he wanted the defense he wanted, wasn't going to risk it. So I love Sam Laporta. I like Jordan Addison. Think you got some good value on the rookie players right there. Okay, everybody, that is our mock draft. Butt Fumble Sports just completed a mock draft. If you want to check out that mock draft, we will post it in its entirety onto our YouTube page. So Butt Fumble Sports on YouTube, you can watch the entire mock draft that we just did, as well as other drafts. We've been trying to do different drafts every day. Some are PPR, some are non-PPR. An 8-team league, a 10-team league, a 12-team league, a 14-team league. We've done a lot of drafts, so go check out those videos, and that way you can prepare yourself for your fantasy football mock draft this year. With that said, we have posted all of our picks from our show up on our website, Butt Fumble Sports. The picks are up on our website. Just to let you guys know about our schedule this week, we do not have a show on Wednesday. I've got to go get some dental surgery, so we do not have a show on Wednesday. Rare does Butt Fumble Sports not show up for a show, but we will not have a show on Wednesday. We will do our NFL show tomorrow night, so make sure you guys are joining us at 7 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night. Make sure you guys are joining us then. Are we going to do an auction draft? Jorge, you know we are. So here's our schedule for the week ahead. If you want our picks, go to our website, go hit on the blog section, and go check out those picks. With that said, I so appreciate all of you guys joining us today. Great show, great energy, great participation by you guys watching. As I say at the end of every show, I hope you guys stay healthy. I hope you stay safe. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon and evening, and I cannot wait to see you again tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Because if it's 12 p.m., Butt Fumble Sports is live. Cannot wait to see you Tuesday, July 25th at 12 p.m. Eastern. And until then, have a